driving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning, everybody. Yay, people are up. All right. All right, let's get started. I'm up early today. Hey, Pepe, good to see you. Looks like we got some people on Facebook. It's good to see everybody. Good morning, Chris. Good to have you. I'm up early because I'm going to church. I haven't been to church in a long time. You know, aside from, wakes, and I got this little flippy thing on the front of my head, and I don't like it. Oh, look at me. Look. Just kidding. But yeah, I haven't been to church in quite a long time, and so this is going to be an experience. It's part of what's going on. It's part of the meeting that I'm having today with a lot of people. So I'm keeping an open mind about it. I wouldn't say I'm excited. I am excited, kind of, because I'm going to be meeting a lot of the right people today. But really, more than anything, and that's what's great about this topic, is we're going to be talking about the 11th step, and that is a part of that's it. So for me, right, I have to talk about my experience, and I always told God that if He led me to church and He wanted me to go, I would go. That I was willing, right? So we can work with willingness with almost any single problem that we have going on that we may not want to take care of, right? So this started a long time ago. It started like 4 years ago, and I was going through a very hard time. It was very hard for me to leave the house. The only time I went outside was to smoke cigarettes. Other than that, I was in my room. But I had to start reaching out to people. I had to do something because I was stuck and I didn't know what to do. So I started going live every day like this. I decided, you know what? Actually, I didn't decide. God asked me to do it. It was a thought that I came up with. It was God's thought. It wasn't mine. I'm like, you know what? I have a book that I can read out of every single day that'll give me a guide. And what I could do is just go on and talk about it. And that's how this started. And I didn't realize that I was going to keep doing it for this amount of time, which I'm fine with. I love doing the Daily Trudge. It is a part of my day. So I started reaching out, and people started noticing, and I started building friends, and I had some disruptions. Okay, but I think I had to go through these things because otherwise I wouldn't know what I know now. Right? It wasn't an easy time. And it still kind of goes on. I'm getting better with it, and that's what matters. There were a lot of people that told me that I wasn't going to make it. They told me, Dion, your podcast will be nothing. Dion, you're not an educator. Hi, Cara. It's good to see you. My phone should not be going off. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. And now today, well, it was about, I don't know, a year and a half ago, I reached out to this guy, Mark Hope. And because I liked what he was doing, and I wanted to let him know that I was doing podcasting and stuff and put it on his podcast. So he let me come on his podcast for about 15 minutes and I explained what I do. And that's how our relationship started. Then we had these little conversations here and there about different things. We had tried a couple of different things. And hi, Patricia. Good to see you. I guess this is a better time. I actually very much enjoyed waking up at 7 o'clock this morning. It felt natural. It was kind of nice. Go outside, pray without any traffic. That was kind of nice. And Mark and I tried to put together a couple of things. They just didn't quite. They didn't. Here's the thing. Sometimes when you're doing something and it doesn't flow, going with the flow, that's your answer from God saying, nope, wrong way. Try a different way. And that's kind of what he did until a few weeks ago, or a little over a week ago, when he asked me to do what I'm getting ready to do next. Cara, I don't think I've told you about what's going on. I'm going to need to in the next couple of days, though. Let's just say, Cara, I can kind of do what I need to now, right? Not what I want to. So with that being said, and me telling you that, the set of circumstances made it to where I need to go to church. And I'm not a big church person. I don't like the rah-rah. It makes me uncomfortable. But I don't think God gives a fuck. I think he wants me to go. And I'm a little bit nervous because it's like one of the largest churches in Colorado, and they're going to be announcing me and Shannon today. I don't know what all that is. I don't know if they're asking me to speak. I don't know. I'm thinking no, because they would have said something already. So, all right. If I tell you now, you get me that in front of that many in front of people, I will preach. I will preach. Yes. Thank you, Chris. I have been searching for what the basis of what I need to do with this. And there it is, one step at a time. One little step at a time. Thank you, Chris. You just made my day. Love you guys. That's what I got. Peace out. Bye. Right. So let's talk about the 11th step. That's what we're going to cover this morning. Going with the flow. So 12 by 12, page 96. Of course, I'm unprepared. Let's see which part they're talking about on here. Sought through prayer and meditation. It's just this tap written on there. All right. Prayer and meditation are our principal means of conscious contact with God. It's how we have a conversation with him. And what they say is prayer is asking or talking, and meditation is listening. And you've got to have parts in your day where you're stopping and listening. Okay? You can do that in various different ways. Some people have a harder time being able to be quiet for that long. So they do other things. I'm not going to quite go into a lot of them this morning. So we AAs are active folk enjoying the satisfaction of dealing with the realities of life, usually for the first time in our lives, and strenuously trying to help the next alcoholic who comes along. So it isn't surprising that we often tend to slight serious meditation and prayer as something not really necessary. To be sure, we feel it is something that might help us to meet an occasional emergency. But at first, many of us are apt to regard it as what mysterious skill of clergymen, from which we may hope to get a secondhand benefit, or perhaps we don't believe in these things at all. You guys know what my question is going to be. Do you even want it? Do you even want it? Because if you don't, pack your bags, man. We'll write a check out for your misery, and we'll see you later. Because it isn't going to work. You have to have a higher power in your life. And it is not used for emergencies. God is everywhere. God is everything. God flows in and throughout everything. So therefore, everything I see, touch, feel, including my bad emotions, is God. And once I can get to that fact, then what I will start doing is carrying God around with me at all times. I keep God in my hip pocket. Are you kidding me? I do not want, if I'm driving and I get a green light, you know what I say? I say, thank you, God. Because I want him to know that I recognize something good in my life, even if it's just something silly as a green light. Right? If white lies are no good, right? If white lies count too as being lies, then the amount of goodness doesn't matter either, does it? It is. So sometimes we get into a part of our life where things are moving forward, but we have no control on what is actually happening. And that is what's going on with me right now. I have no control over what's going to happen next. None. I don't want any. I don't want it. I don't. And power, no. I was talking to a friend about power yesterday, and I told her I don't want power. I don't even want it. And I told her, if you see me getting a big head while we're doing any of this, please slap me, because it's not what I want. Right? That's what's cool, is God has given me what I want based on my intentions, and my intentions are to help as many people as possible before I check out of here. Good morning, Gary. Good to see you. We're just covering the 11th step, so you're good, brother. To certain newcomers and those one-time agnostics who still clung to the AA group as their higher power, claims for the power of prayer. Okay. I talked about group of drunks the other day, and it says right here, who still cling to AA group as their higher power. You can, and now it has said it twice to us. It says it twice in here now that I've seen, that you cannot use group of drunks for very long. It is a very personal relationship, and there are people in that group. What happens in a year when half of them are gone? Because this is what happens. They have failed in that sense, and you have set them up to fail so that you, my friends, can go drink. You want to know why people come up with work on these silly things? Because they don't want to do the work. They don't want to actually do the work. It's called two-stepping. It's where you do steps 1 and 12, or 2 and 12, actually, I think it is. You don't even admit that your life's unmanageable. You just go to 2 and 12. And it's called two-stepping, and it doesn't work. What will happen is you will go to groups and you'll be like, why can I quite grasp this? I have some days, but most of my days are bad. Why is it that I can't replicate it? Because you don't have a higher power working in your life. It's something you really got to want. You got to be more willing to have God in your life than anything else. In fact, I'm going to say, if you do nothing else, get God in your life. It will make a vast improvement just by doing that. Okay? Put it in as little effort as you can, but that's what you're going to get back. When we do things for other people without expectation of return, it comes back tenfold one way or another every time. It might be 6 months later. Doesn't matter. We created time. My God don't understand time. That's why it's always on God's time. We created time. God don't do money. We created money. Money wasn't here. Wasn't here. Right? That's how I think about it, right? Now, there are sometimes when I get a little bit of money and it was unexpected, but that has to do with my needs and my living. It always pops up when I need it, not when I want it. If I want it, then I'm going to go out and buy a PlayStation 5. If I need it, I'm going to keep the roof over my head. Big difference. Despite all the logic and experience and proof of it, still being unconvincing or quite objectionable. Those of us who once felt this way can certainly understand and sympathize. We well remember how something deep inside of us kept rebelling against the idea of bowing before any god. Many of us had strong logic too, which proved there was no god whatever. What about the accidents, sickness, cruelty, and injustice in the world? What about all these unhappy lives which were the direct result of the unfortunate birth and uncontrollable circumstances? Surely there could be no justice in this scheme of things, and therefore no God at all. It's not the best place to stop, but I'm kind of limited on time. So, time. Oh, there's that time thing again. All right. The first words I speak when arising in the morning is, I arise, O God, to do thy will. See, for me, that's too much. I can't get up and be like, oh, arise, oh God. I can't. No. For some reason, and I think that's within me. I think there's a little part of me, and it's very little, that still doesn't like it. I'm just being honest. Why does it make me uncomfortable? Well, I'm going to church today, and it's a multicultural church. So I'm going to be feeling either really uncomfortable or I'm going to have a real good time. That decision is going to be up to me. Right? I can tell you now I'm going to have a good time because my wife's going to be there. So, and I always have a good time when my wife is around because she's my wife. Oh, as distinguished from prayer, meditation is a quiet time without words. To be centered is to be physically relaxed, emotionally calm, mentally focused, and spiritually aware. One way to keep the channel open is to improve my conscious contact with God is to maintain a grateful attitude. On the days when I'm grateful, good things seem to happen in my life. The instant I start cursing things in my life, however, the flow of good stops. God did not interrupt the flow. My own negativity did. Okay? So it's our attitude. Every day that we wake up, we get a new day, and our attitude is going to determine what it's going to be like. Whenever I come on here in the mornings, I always tell you what my attitude is for the day. And it varies, doesn't it? Because I'm a human being with varied traits, and so are you. All right. So I'm going to be a little bit more open minded today. It's Sunday. I'm going to try for that. I'm going to go in. I'm going to be open minded. I'm going to be willing, and I'm going to be honest. I'm going to take one step at a time, just like Chris said. How can I lose? All right, guys. That's going to be it for today. I will see you tomorrow. Oh, Pepe says, so let your attitude set you up for fun at church. Peace out. Thanks, Pepe. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I love you. Peace out. And have